So today I'd like to tell you a little bit about what's on my tiny little mind this week. We're still counting the Omer, um, and it was commanded to do that in today's Torah reading. In Vayikra, chapter 23, verse 15. And it says, today is the 30th day. So Lag BaOmer is coming this coming week, very soon. We're like 3 days away. So Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the counting of the Omer. Today is the 30th day. And we count every night. Tonight we add 1 to 30. And we start saying this the second night of Pesach. And in the outside of Israel, it's during the Pesach Seder, the second Seder, but not in Israel, they don't have a second Seder, so it's the second night anyway. And we say it until the night before Shavuot, so we're counting down. The thing is, by having to take the time to count each day, why do we do it? Do you really think that it's so important that you're going to go and count a barley corn every day? I dare say I doubt there are too many of us who do that. I don't do a barley corn, but I do count the Omer every day, but not too many of us do, I'm sure. And it doesn't make me a better person. But what it does do is if we're counting each day, it makes each day count a little more. But we don't think about it that way because we're not counting really. Anyway, that's the way life is. We don't always think about what we should be thinking about. So one thing that we can all understand is that we like to count things that are important to us. In 2 weeks, we will begin reading the book of Bamidbar. We'll finish this book of Torah, and we're going to start the next one. And in that fourth book of Torah, we will see that, like us, God counts too. Not just anything, but God recounts Bnei Yisrael. Again, God recounts Bnei Yisrael, takes another survey, another census. And Rashi teaches that this shows us how much God must love Bnei Yisrael. Even though time is perishable, even though once time is past and is gone, do we count days, minutes, seconds, the way we count our money, our jewelry? I mean, how many times have you caught yourself, you count your money, you put it in your wallet or your purse, and then for some reason you pull it out and count it again because you're going somewhere and you just don't remember for sure how much there is. So you count it again to make sure you have enough cash, because now they give discounts on cash. It used to be, was the same. If you gave credit cards or cash, it was the same price. No, not anymore. Now you have to pay 3% more. So a lot of people want to bring the cash with them to save the 3%. Hey, listen, it adds up. Don't kid yourself. But we count our money and we count it carefully. We want to know what we have. Each stock that we have, bond that we have, and the currency that we have is important to us. It's very important, so much that we do look at it and count it. However, when we count someone else's money, we just count it. It's not important to us, it's important to them, but we just count it. That money's not ours, it's theirs. So while we still want to be accurate, we have no attachment to it. It's somebody else's. For most of us, when counting another day, another month, another week, another hour, what is it? Is it that important, or do we really consider it an amazing gift from God? That it is, and it's called life. It's not money, it's not jewelry, it's life. So why do we not consider how much of it we have wasted? Why don't we consider it? If we took our jewelry and every day we threw something into the river or gave away the money one at a time without really paying any attention who we're giving it to or why, or just leave it out and somebody takes it, That's what we're doing with our time. Think about it. We say as at a joke almost at the end of a day, how many times somebody will say, well, there's another day kicked in the head. Instead, we should look at time as our greatest opportunity. It gives us to spend with our family and friends and serve God and doing the mitzvot that are important to us in our lives so that we can make our lives just a little bit better than the way we found it when we were born. Think about it. How many times do we do that? Do you go to the end of the day and say, oh, I did this, I did that, I'm so happy, I'm so proud of myself? Or you don't even remember what you did because nothing was important. Or you realize, I watched that show, it was horrible, I wasted 2 hours, I'll never get it back. You count for yourselves for the morrow of the rest of the day, right? From the marrow, like a bone marrow. You look at each day for yourselves. You look at it from the rest of the day. That's what it says in the Torah today. From the day when you bring the Omer of the waving. We don't bring Omer. We don't wave the Omer because we're not farmers. But it was important to them to make those, to when they grew their crops, to make sure they could harvest them. It was important. It takes 7 weeks for this to complete, this process. And then it's Shavuot. What happens on Shavuot? God gives us the Torah. What could be more important than that? How would the world be had God never given us the Torah? Think about it. I'm not talking about for the Jews, because we have a great impact on others. I'm talking about what would it be if God didn't give us the Torah. What it means is that since we are counting for yourself, for you, for me, I count for myself, you count for yourself. We are counting as if each day has personal value and should not be considered as if we are counting for somebody else. Nope, we shouldn't do that. What we do with each of those days should never leave us saying, another day kicked in the head. Should never have to say that. So during the week, a friend of mine called me. And I know this guy's younger than me. He still works. And he's looking to buy, he has a house in Westchester, New York. And he's looking to buy another house on Cape Cod. So he has a place to go. He and his family love Cape Cod. And he wants to make sure they all have a place to come in the summers. So they could come together as a family every summer. It's a great idea. He also wants to begin investing during his working years in a peaceful summer place for his retirement. Doesn't want to wait till he's retired. He might not have the money to do it. So the importance of doing this now is twofold. It helps keep the family together. It's a plan to keep the family together. It will help. And it might be more affordable now than when he is not working, which is financially astute. In other words, the mitzvah of counting the days for yourself, making every day count, is at the very foundation of his thinking, even though he doesn't realize it. Contrast this to the millennials. They are much less likely to be influenced by the passing of time. This is because when we are kids, our pets die. We cry, and what happens? Our parents buy another one. So what is death? If you're going to get another one, a dog, a pet, a cat, a bird, whatever it is, they buy another one. I'm not saying that's wrong, but it kind of minimizes our pain. When we lose a relative, you don't get another one. You can't go buy one. Anyway, we rush our lives away to be 13 so we can have our B'nai Mitzvah parties. Not because we want a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah. We want the party. We rush our lives away to be 18. Why? So we can get a driver's license. and we can vote. And some of us can sign contracts in some states. In other states, you still have to wait till you're 21. Then we rush our wives away to graduate from college so we can get better jobs. Then we rush our lives away to be 21 so that we can be legally drunk if we want. And if some can sign contracts. We rush our lives away. If only I was this age. If only I was that age. I wish I was this. I wish I was that. Since children all know that these things are going to happen, thinking they are immortal is the obvious outcome. And they do. I mean, I guess I did. Of course I did. When I went in the army, nobody was going to hurt me. I wouldn't even consider it today. We train them to take the passage of time for granted. That's our fault. We don't teach them to understand how precious the time we have is and how fast it goes by. My God. When I was young, if I would look at an analog clock with the hands, you never could see the hands move. Now, they look like a fan on the ceiling. They move so fast. But the children will mature, and as they mature a little bit, they are so focused on making a living, raising their kids, getting promotions, and all the other who knows what that happens to all of us. Well, they no longer think that they are immortal. And for some, there is no time to think about the passing of the days at all. For others, they become scared about their future and avoid thinking about it at all. I'm a loser. I'll never get any. I have never seen so many depressed people in my entire life as I do now. And I could say that 10 years ago. I could say that 15 years ago. It's getting much worse, and it's getting worse faster. How many people? It's not how many people are on depressants or antidepressants. That's not the point. How many people aren't on antidepressants? There aren't that many left. Anyway, I've had my share of surgeries. You all know that. And during my recoveries, I've had a lot of time to think about my life. I have discovered that I have done many things that I am proud of, but I did a lot more things in life that I'm embarrassed about than what I'm proud of. I've seen too many people who did not survive some of the same things that I survived. And that with each surgery, it forced me to be even more brutally honest with myself. And thankful to God that I survived it. The other day, I happened upon a very famous psalm that I have said countless times, but for some reason, this time I looked at it differently. It's Psalm 90, and in verse 10 of Psalm 90, it says, "The days of our lives among them are 70 years. You know, I stopped to think. I sped right past that age. 6 years ago, in fact, I was 70. 6 years ago, I'm not 70 anymore. Here I am, talking to you. And I'm flying by faster and faster every year. Every single day, the time goes. And I'm not 70 anymore. And that's what I was allowed to be given, according to that psalm. But while I thought I appreciated the importance of time in the past, now I revere it. Now I cherish each and every day that God gives me more, and with each tick of the clock, I get more time. Do I deserve it? That's not up to me. Do I try to deserve it more and more than I used to? But I find that I also cherish my family and friends more and more every day than I ever did. And I always did. But it's getting to be more and more. My brothers, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, and all my friends are much more important to me than ever before. Why do you think I do this every Shabbos online? It's not for me. It's because of my friends who asked me to do it. Some have begged me to do it. I do it. I love it, not because it's I can't wait to do it, but because I know it's helping people. And they love to be together, and I love to see your faces where I do see your faces online. The ones that come on YouTube, I don't know who you are. I might know you, but I don't know who's there. And there are so many people online every Shabbos. It's amazing. And it's quite an honor for me. Anyway, the fact is, none of us will ever bring an omer of grain to the Beit HaMikdash because there is no Beit HaMikdash. But let our time of counting the omer remind all of us that it is our responsibility to treat time with the respect and holiness that it demands. And I hope you join me in saying amen to that. Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisroel Chai.